I want you to picture something. It is a Tuesday afternoon in January. A little boy walks out of his preschool in Minnesota. He is wearing a blue bunny hat. He has a Spider-Man backpack on his shoulders. He is 5 years old. His name is Liam. And he is holding his dad's hand, walking home from school. Like every other normal Tuesday. Except this Tuesday, there are federal agents waiting at the end of his driveway. Within minutes, Liam and his father are surrounded. Masked agents in tactical gear. A 5-year-old boy standing in the snow, Spider-Man backpack on, looking up at people twice his size in masks. That image went around the entire world, and it broke something in a lot of people. Because whatever you believe about immigration, whatever side you are on, most of us grew up believing that America does not do this to 5-year-olds walking home from school. Today, I am going to tell you exactly what happened, not the political spin from either side. I'm the actual facts. What Liam said to his dad in that detention center in Texas, what the judge wrote when he ordered Liam's release, and the question that everyone is afraid to answer directly: how did we get to a place where this is normal? January 20th, 2026, Columbia Heights, Minnesota, a quiet suburb just north of Minneapolis. Liam Conejo Ramos is 5 years old. He is a pre-kindergarten student at Valley View Elementary. His teachers describe him as a happy, curious kid. He loves Spider-Man. He loves his blue bunny hat. He had been in America for just over a year. His family came from Ecuador in December 2024, not by sneaking across a border in the middle of the night. They presented themselves to border officers in Texas and formally applied for asylum. They followed every rule, filed every form, showed up to every court hearing. Their lawyer, Mark Prokosh, confirmed this on the record. The family had an active asylum claim. Liam's father, Adrian, had no criminal record. Zero. Not a parking ticket. He was not a threat to anyone. He was a father walking his son home from school. That afternoon, Operation Metro Surge, a large-scale ICE enforcement operation across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, was running. Agents were in the neighborhood. When Liam and his father, Adrian, turned into their driveway, they encountered federal agents. What happened next is disputed. The government says Adrian tried to run, leaving Liam alone in the driveway. Neighbors and school officials tell a different story. They say agents used Liam as bait, walked the 5-year-old to the front door and instructed him to knock so his mother would come out. His mother, Erica, was inside the house. She was pregnant. She had a teenage son. She was terrified. She did not open the door. A neighbor and a school district representative were both present and offered to take Liam. ICE took him anyway. Liam and his father were put in a vehicle, driven to an airport, and flown 1,300 miles away to the South Texas Family Residential Center in Dilley, Texas, a detention facility housing over 1,100 people. Liam became the 4th student from Columbia Heights School District to be detained by ICE that month. The 4th. Here is where I want to slow down. Because what happened to Liam inside that detention center in Texas deserves to be heard clearly. Teen Congressman Joaquin Castro flew to Dilley on January 28th to check on them. He spent 30 minutes with Liam and his father in a facility courtroom. This is what he told the press afterward. He said Liam had not been eating well. He said the boy had been sleeping constantly because he was depressed. He said Liam kept asking 2 things over and over. When can I see my mom? And where is my backpack? That backpack. The Spider-Man backpack that was in the photograph. And that is what a 5-year-old thinks about when the world falls apart around him. His backpack? His mom. Castro also described the facility conditions. Detainees told him they had not received their medication. People with serious food allergies said those allergies were being ignored. The medical exam rooms were empty during his visit. A December report filed by ICE itself acknowledged the facility had held approximately 400 children longer than the recommended 20-day limit. 400 children held past the limit, acknowledged by the agency itself in their own paperwork. Now I want to talk about the judge because what U.S. District Judge Fred Beery wrote when he ordered Liam's release is something that needs to be said out loud in full. Judge Beery wrote that the family's case has its genesis in the ill-conceived and incompetently implemented government pursuit of daily deportation quotas, apparently even if it requires traumatizing children. He called administrative warrants used by ICE without a judge's signature unconstitutional, comparing the executive branch issuing warrants to itself as the fox guarding the henhouse. And then he added what he called a civics lesson for the government. He wrote that the Constitution requires an independent judicial officer, not an agency approving its own paperwork. On February 1st, Liam and his father were released. Congressman Castro picked them up from Dilley on Saturday night. They flew home to Minneapolis on Sunday morning. When Liam got off the plane, he was wearing his blue bunny hat. He had his Spider-Man backpack. The community of Columbia Heights had gathered outside his home with Spider-Man balloons. Neighbors brought food. One woman, Brenda Marquez, drove over with her own 2 children the moment she heard Liam was home. She said, "We wanted something that would bring a little happiness." His surname, Conejo, means rabbit in Spanish. While Liam was detained, the community made origami rabbits in solidarity and sent them to the school. A 5-year-old boy named Rabbit in a bunny hat, detained far from home while the world folded paper rabbits waiting for him to come back. Now I am going to do something I always do on this channel. I am going to give you the other side, because it exists and you deserve to hear it. The Department of Homeland Security says ICE did not target Liam. They say his father chose to have Liam stay with him after being apprehended. They say the mother was given multiple opportunities to take her son, was assured she would not be arrested, and refused. DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin said, "The administration is committed to restoring the rule of law." And the Trump administration's broader argument is straightforward. America has immigration laws. People who enter illegally or overstay without authorization must face consequences. The asylum system has been abused for decades, and the only way to restore order is consistent enforcement. Some of the 1,100 people in that Dilley facility are genuinely dangerous. ICE makes that point regularly. These arguments deserve a serious response, not just emotional rejection. So, here it is. Liam's family did not enter illegally. They presented themselves legally at the border and followed the asylum process. His father had no criminal record and had complied with every legal requirement. The judge who ordered Liam's release specifically addressed this, noting that even if the family ultimately faces deportation, it should happen through what he called a more orderly and humane process than what occurred. Enforcement without basic standards of humanity is not strength. It is chaos dressed up as policy. And here is the number that should follow every political statement about this case. Liam is not alone. He was the 4th Columbia Heights student detained that month. 400 children were held past the legal limit at Dilley alone. In a single facility. In a single month. ICE's own records confirmed it. Whatever your position on immigration, of the deliberate detention of preschool children beyond legal limits, confirmed in the agency's own paperwork, is not a side effect. It is a choice. When Congressman Castro was on the plane back to Minnesota with Liam, he wrote the boy a letter. He told Liam he had moved the world. He wrote, "Do not let anyone tell you this is not your home." America became the most powerful, prosperous nation on earth because of immigrants, not in spite of them. Liam is 5 years old. He cannot read that letter yet, but someday he will. And he will know that when he was sitting in a detention room in Texas asking for his backpack and his mom, a whole country was watching. And some of them were angry, and some of them were ashamed. And all of them were arguing about what America actually is. That question does not have an easy answer, but Liam's face in that photograph, 5 years old, Spider-Man backpack, masked agents behind him, that image is now part of the answer, whether we like it or not. Drop your honest reaction in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story affected you, share it, because 4 other Columbia Heights students are still detained. Their names deserve to be known too. Subscribe for next week, because the legal battle over ICE's use of administrative warrants without judicial approval is heading to the Supreme Court. And the outcome will affect every single person in this country.